What's going on, Lions fans, NFL fans? That was an absolute defensive coaching masterpiece. We wind up winning there 24-9. Now, the game is probably a little closer than the score would indicate. However, the job that Calvin Shepard did with all of the tools we had at our disposal there has to be highlighted. And I feel like that just has to be the most important thing you can glean from this game is that I think Calvin Shepard is absolutely going to be a head coach at some point and possibly even next season. You just will not really see defenses play as well as the Lions did. They really had no miscommunications outside of one play that I recognized. It was Hallett and Amik Robertson on one play that the Bucs got a first down, but basically the rest of the game, it was really good. It just has to be stated what the Lions did there was pretty much unfathomable. I mean, after Rockison went down there, I think in the second quarter, we were on our sixth cornerback. We were out 5 cornerback types, okay, and 2 safeties. That's just really insane to think about. The top 5 guys we have at that position are all out. We really have our backup slot defender and Amik Robinson playing outside corner. This is like his 4th game, I think, playing outside corner. Now, he's playing really well. He had a forced fumble on a play where receiver caught the ball going across the field, and as he's making the tackle, punches it out. Just an incredible play there from Amik Robertson to give us the ball on a short field. And other than Amik Robertson out there, we had Nick Whiteside out there playing outside corner and Arthur Millette playing in the slot. Thomas Harper at safety, Eric Hallett at safety, and also Lawrence Strickland had to come in at safety when Rockison went down. They had to move Eric Hallett to like a slot position on some plays, and also Arthur Millette went down with what looked like a cramp at one point and had to put Eric Hallett at slot for a few plays there. And this is really incredible. I mean, pretty much all of these guys except Amik Robertson have not really played for the Lions outside of preseason. So for them to come out and just not make too many coverage mistakes as far as miscommunication, letting guys go down the field uncovered. And that really just is one of the most impressive coaching jobs I can remember from a defensive coordinator. And I've been watching football for a long time. This was just insane what they were doing on the defensive side of the ball in the secondary, passing guys off. It was just really good, and Baker a lot of times had nowhere to go with the ball. And these guys that came out on the field were not just out there for fun. They were making plays. Arthur Millette able to pull the ball away from Cade Otton. From what I could see, it did look like Arthur Millette definitely had more of the ball than Cade Otton. Cade Otton kind of had it in one arm, but Arthur Millette had it in both arms basically from the time the ball arrived. He had both arms on it and was definitely in more possession of the ball than Cade Otton, it looked like. And then we also had Nick Whiteside making one of the most important plays of the game, a deflection there in the end zone with Emeka Bucum basically in the back of the end zone. That was a really nice play. Yeah, Baker was just trying to get it to him over the middle, and Nick Whiteside made a really nice deflection out in that one. And he also had some other plays where he was in really tight coverage with Emeka Bucum. There was a double move, I believe. It would have been a perfect throw to really fit it in there, but it wasn't quite able to connect on that one, and Whiteside was, a big reason why that pass was incomplete, because he was kind of in the area and jumping, putting his hands up. And yeah, I really do think that Nick Whiteside probably earned himself a lot of money today, as well as Calvin Shepard. I think if you look out there on X, on Twitter, there are a lot of people saying similar things like this guy is definitely going to be a head coach at some point. I just really don't think he's not going to get a chance at a head coaching job very soon. I mean, you really see 5 or 6 head coaches are fired almost every season, and teams are always looking for the next guy, I do think that Calvin Shepard would be at least one of those top candidates if he went into the coaching cycle next season. And it is quite a bit different in terms of the money they can make. I mean, coordinators might make a couple $100,000, and a new head coach who is a rock star and highly sought after is typically going to make like at least $5 million a season. So you really are talking about making maybe $20 million over the course of a few years versus making a few $1,000,000 over the course of a 15-year career as an assistant. And I just don't really think fans understand that when an assistant gets a chance, they're not just going to pass it up. They, if you wait, it just might never come. To have the ability to secure that amount of security for your family, your children's children is just something you cannot pass up, obviously. So I just really don't think he's going to pass it up. I think it's going to be next season or maybe the season after if the Lions get lucky. You just have to understand that amount of money changes everything for your family through a few generations at least. Also on the defense here, we had Elaine McNeil back and playing really well. He really looked like his dominant self, especially the first few drives. Just was not able to be blocked one-on-one, and on double teams was definitely holding his ground in the pass game and in the run game. And I really felt like him alongside Tyleik Williams is going to be a problem if teams are trying to run the ball up the middle. With both of those guys on the field, it is just not going to be easy sledding. And if both of those guys can stay healthy, it is going to be a huge impact on the run defense for the Detroit Lions. And then we had Aiden Hutchinson with some really nice play there. He had a couple plays where he completely smoked Tristan Wirfs, one of the best tackles in the National Football League. And, he had that crazy spin move. And, he was just unleashing the tool belt today, especially against their right tackle. Charlie Heck definitely could not handle Hutchinson at all one-on-one. It just was not going to happen. And they did a lot of chipping and stuff like that to try and help out. If we can get some of these starters back after this bye week, I just think this could be one of the best Lions defenses we have ever seen. And getting quite a few guys hopefully back after the bye week will help a lot. Now, the reason I said this game was a bit closer than the score would indicate, there in the fourth quarter, I think it was early in the fourth quarter, Baker misses a wide open touchdown to Tez Johnson. This one, he wasn't even under pressure, just kind of like short-armed it. Tez Johnson running across the field, and this was really one of the only plays where they had just like a wide open guy downfield, and he just completely missed it. And on top of that, the offense was just not clicking all day today. I mean, especially on third down, the Lions were 3 of 13, I believe, and that's just not good enough if you want to beat good teams in the NFL. Luckily today we got some turnovers, and the defense played lights out really for the most part. But on the offensive side of the field, we start off with a nice play to Gibbs, and then St. Brown getting in there for the end zone. That was nice. And then the next drive, we have a 3-and-out where we have a false start by Taylor Decker. And then next drive out was the one with the 4th and 2 on the goal line, set up by some nice plays by Gibbs and St. Brown again. But this was a throw to Isaac Tesla, kind of on a fade route, trying to run by the defensive back. And this was a really nice play by Isaac Tesla, getting by him. Definitely showed the burst on this one. And it just wasn't an accurate throw from Jared Goff. Definitely could have been a touchdown if he puts it on him. And also on this play, St. Brown was wide open, kind of on the right side. But I do think that they were trying to get Tesla involved. And I do like this utilization. And I do think this is the kind of plays that we want to see from Isaac Tesla. And that's why we spent so much draft capital on him. We want to get him involved, and hopefully going forward we can. And then on our 4th drive of the game, Goff unable to find anyone there on third down, under pressure, just nothing open fast enough to beat the pressure. Basically, that's what happened. And on the next drive, this is the one where we had that 78-yard touchdown by Jahmyr Gibbs. And this drive was set back by Taylor Decker's second false start of the game. And also, there was a play on third down where we were able to convert by a penalty that I will just say is a bullshit penalty. So basically, Jamel Dean on this play just got ran over by Amon-Ra St. Brown, tried to press him at the line, and then he just falls over. I don't really know how that's a penalty. That's just getting run over, getting beat. What I would say is a BS penalty, definitely not illegal contact. So this 78-yard touchdown was set up by that. But on this 78-yard touchdown, it was pretty insane watching the broadcast. As soon as Jahmyr Gibbs got to the line of scrimmage with the ball on this play, the crowd starts erupting because they know he has the speed to outrun everybody to the end zone on this play. And it was great blocking as well. But as soon as he gets through the line there, really they had no chance. The safety tries to get an angle on him, but he really wasn't even close. In the open field, he is a weapon. Definitely one of the best running backs in the NFL. And I think if he keeps having games like this, he's going to be closer to the number one spot than maybe people realize. This was really just an incredible performance, especially in the first half here by Jahmyr Gibbs. He also had some nice plays in the receiving game in the first half. And yeah, next drive out, Jared Goff misses an open Jameson Williams on third down. That leads to a missed field goal. And then our seventh drive of the first half there, set up by the Arthur Millette interception. Jared Goff takes a sack from a blitzing defender he never saw. Now that's really on the quarterback. This one was a nickelback off the right side, and Jared Goff just never seen him. And then on the very next play, he throws an interception. Just one of those boneheaded situations. He was trying to fit it between two zone defenders, and it really was not there. Defender had a lot of depth, and that's just really an impossible throw to trying to make that throw versus the cover two when the cornerback is getting depth like that. It's just not going to happen. So yeah, really all day, the third down was a problem for the Lions. First drive out of half, though, Gibbs is able to get a touchdown after some nice plays from Gibbs and St. Brown moving down the field. And then our second drive is when we had this 4th-and-1 play. I think it's the same play we ran a few weeks ago where they handed off directly to Amon-Ra St. Brown, and then he pitches it to Jahmyr Gibbs. Now, this play worked on the goal line a few weeks ago, but it did not work at all. On this play, Jahmyr Gibbs was met immediately when he got the ball, and he's able to break a couple tackles, luckily, and extend for the first down as he's getting pushed from Amon-Ra St. Brown. Amon-Ra St. Brown comes from behind and just shoves him forward, and it definitely helped him get the first down, I think. But yeah, just a few plays later, Jared Goff misses St. Brown on a 3rd and 6 under pressure, just like an out route, but the pressure was coming a lot in third down today, you know. And Jared Goff was not that good under pressure today, that is for sure. And then our third drive of the second half, set up by a Cade Otton play where they almost had the first down, going for it on 4th down there. That one was really close, but they had a nice shot down the pylon, and that was just really close. I felt like he was about an inch away, but Lions get the turnover to set up their third drive of the second half there. But they go 3 and out here, and this is one where the field goal hits the upright and bounces in. That was an insane one. Definitely looked like he didn't get it at first, but they showed a nice replay showing that it definitely went in. 2 consecutive drives after that. The Lions go 3 and out, but at this point, it was just a little too late, running out of time for the Buccaneers. And yeah, overall, we got some really nice plays there from Jahmyr Gibbs and Amon-Ra St. Brown. And that was really most of the offense on 1st and 2nd down there. And then on 3rd down, we just were not able to really get anything going. The Bucs really had our number on 3rd down today on offense. And Jared Goff was feeling the pressure and also not playing well under pressure, missing some throws. And also had that interception we talked about. Yeah, just not the greatest game from Jared Goff. I would imagine his Pro Football Focus grade would not be good for today. But that's okay if our defense can play like this. Obviously, I'm expecting Jared Goff to come back to where he has been playing over the last few years and be a good quarterback for us going forward. Not really worried about it, but it is definitely better to not have him under pressure throughout his career. He's just not been as good under pressure. That's just the thing with Jared Goff. You want to keep him clean. Running the play action stuff definitely helps, but the Bucs definitely had our number today as far as 3rd down on the offense. And yeah, that's pretty much all I have. I really think that Calvin Shepard's going to be a head coach very soon, if not next season, definitely the season after that. And I really felt like on offense, we got to get some things figured out for the playoffs, because we are going to meet teams in the playoffs that can get pressure on 3rd down, and just got to play a little better, obviously, on 3rd down if you want to beat the best teams in the NFL. And that's really all I got for you guys today. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you in the next one.